I'm starting to kind of become that person I envisioned myself becoming. It's a slow process, you know, getting through the first year of sobriety, it's a real heavy battle. But my dad always told me, you know, everybody's equal, and no matter what, you have to treat people kind, and, you know, you have to be a good person. You know, it's so much easier to love somebody's talent when they're a genuine, beautiful person than if they're an asshole. I wish I would have learned that when I was 14. I'm CJ Nelson, Santa Cruz, California. I grew up here on the east side, Pleasure Point. Growing up here in Santa Cruz has changed a lot. When I grew up here, you couldn't even walk down the street with a longboard. The localism was really bad here. It was a hard place to be an individual, and especially ride longboards. It wasn't tolerated at all. My dad, you know, brought me here when I was 5 years old for my first time. My dad was really cool. He longboarded and rode small boards and stuff, but he was had a lot of respect for those guys that surf up at the point, you know, and wouldn't let me go surf there until I was ready, or he thought I was ready. It was good to grow up that way, and I think that's why, you know, when it was so rough, I was accepted. We've lost that. You know, people now, they just see surfers and they don't realize the history of the spot. It's good for any random can just come and surf wherever they want now, but we've lost something along the way, you know? We've lost that tradition that we have here in Santa Cruz that was so valuable and beautiful, you know? Growing up around all those guys and the roughness here at the point, the people I looked up to would go surfing, and then they'd go in and they'd just start drinking, you know, and partying. And when I envisioned being a surfer and envisioned my life, I always envisioned it, you know, that was cool, you know, that was acceptable. And I lost myself somewhere between 11 and 25. I let my ego get the best of me when I was kind of in the middle of my pro surfing. I really drank a lot and partied hard and thought I was the shit, and winning my US title and stuff when I was younger, and winning a lot of longboard contests and stuff. I won, yeah, and that's that's really rad and all, but I was drunk, you know? I lost my father a few years back, and I was drinking super heavily, and one morning I was drunk at a bar down the street, and I just kind of had enough, you know, and I needed to change, so I quit drinking. I kind of woke up to the fact that, fuck, I'm not even surfing. I was really embarrassed about who I had become, you know, and in the stuff that I had done, and being a example for kids and stuff, smoking cigarettes in front of Groms and just being an asshole, you know? So I realized that I wasn't being who I intended to be. I changed that day, and that was a few years back, and spending all the time in the water now, and kind of giving back to surfing the way I always should have, and not taking it for granted. And the people that have supported me through everything, I really value that now, you know? I wish I could have been that way for those other opportunities that I got to execute when I was drinking and stuff, you know? I'm really proud of them, but I didn't enjoy them to my soul like I can now. You can't take your successes for granted. You can't just go, oh, I'm fucking talented, so that's the way it is. I don't have to put anything into it. You know, you have to give back. You have to invest in yourself, and sobriety really just points you back in that direction, and it's pointed me in that direction, and I'm becoming who I've always wanted to be. I'm not there yet. There's always going to be work to do, but yeah, it's a good place to be in when you can let go of all that stuff. One of the things I really love about Santa Cruz is the fact that it's a small place. There's so many waves jam-packed into such a small zone. It's one of the things that my dad loved about Santa Cruz when he first brought me here. You know, when I'm home, I don't drive my car. I usually am on my bike. It's nice. I have a couple other hobbies like cycling. You know, it's such a beautiful thing that I can just go do. I'll go cycling. Nobody even looks at me, you know? And I can just enjoy this little thing that I just keep to myself, like cycling, my artwork. I've been drawing forever. I love to just zen out and have some alone time with my pencil and paper. My life has changed a lot. My routine has changed a lot with sobriety. Usually go for a surf around 10 or 11 and eat healthy. Get lunch at New Leaf Market, doing a lot of reading and yoga and just mellow. Life's mellow.